What is the secret to happiness? For most of my life, I thought of happiness in terms of I'll be happy once I blank, or I'll never be happy if I don't, fill in the blank, whatever it was at the time. And so I was always going through life working towards some goal and thinking, I'm not happy now, but once I achieve the thing I'm working on, then I'll be happy. I remember being in college, feeling depressed and thinking, well, once I graduate college, then I'll feel good about myself and I'll be happy. Then I graduated college and I had a low paying job and I thought, well, I'm still not happy, but once I'm more experienced and make a six-figure salary, then I'll be happy. Then a few years passed and I reached that point, and again, I didn't feel that much different. In fact, I felt a lot worse. I was more stressed than ever. I had muscle tension all over my body. And I even had an intense panic attack at work and I fainted. And it turned out I had developed really severe anxiety. And I was confused because I always thought, if I just accomplish this next goal, then I'll feel good about myself and be happy. So then I realized, oh, it wasn't a higher salary that was going to make me happy. I just need to overcome anxiety. And so overcoming anxiety became my next goal. So I went to therapy and I learned how to improve my thoughts, and I became less critical of myself. And I learned these breathing exercises and relaxation techniques that melted away the anxiety whenever I needed it. And 6 months later, I'd done it. My therapist told me, I think you're a lot better now. And I took a test called the Burns Anxiety Inventory that said I had normal levels of anxiety. And so I did it. I overcame anxiety. But I still didn't feel happy. I didn't feel bad. I felt insanely better than I did as a depressed college student, and I felt a million times better than when I had severe anxiety. But it wasn't what I expected. Somehow I still felt a little empty, like I needed to achieve something more, but I didn't know what. Then I read this book called Flow, The Psychology of Optimal Experience by Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi. The author did this huge study on the happiness of thousands of people over many years. And here's what he discovered about the secret to happiness. This is a quote from the book. What I discovered was that happiness is not something that happens. It's not the result of good fortune or random chance. It does not depend on outside events, but rather on how we interpret them. Happiness, in fact, is a condition that must be prepared for, cultivated, and defended privately by each person. People who learn to control inner experience will be able to determine the quality of their lives, which is as close as any of us can come to being happy. I think my jaw dropped as I read that paragraph, because it felt so true. I kept reading, and the next line said, "Yet we cannot reach happiness by consciously searching for it. Ask yourself whether you are happy," said J.S. Mill, "and you cease to be so. It is by being fully involved with every detail of our lives, whether good or bad, that we find happiness, not by looking for it directly." And with that sentence, it became so clear. Happiness doesn't come from anything in the future or the past. Happiness comes from being fully involved with every detail of our lives, whether good or bad. Now, I can't honestly say that I've learned how to do this consistently, but when I'm uncomfortable, I try not to run away from the discomfort. Instead, I try to become at peace with it. Every day, I feel a little closer to the present moment. I'm constantly drifting off and pulling my awareness back to the breath, back to the present. And each time I pull myself back feels like a push-up for the brain. And this type of push-up trains the brain to be happy. And so my secret to happiness is to be fully involved with every detail of my life, whether good or bad, and to stop expecting external things or achievements to make me happy, and instead to cultivate happiness internally, regardless of the situation. If you want to learn a little more about how to connect to the present moment with your breath, I have a free ebook you can download. It's called Breathing Secrets. It'll teach you a breathing technique that helps me get out of my head You can download it for free at breathingsecretsbook.com. I'll put the link down below. By the way, my name's Luke, and this is my channel Headfulness. If you want to see more videos like this, just click the subscribe button and the notification bell. Let me know in the comments what your secret to happiness is. And as always, let's all try to have a little more headfulness.